you do for asylum seekers as president to make sure that queer people who are fleeing here to stay alive do not die when sent back?
There's so much. I mean, I put out an immigration plan in early April because I have a very different view of immigration from this president, and I'm not going to be afraid to articulate that vision. But with regard to asylum seekers, I would do several things. Number one, I would stop playing games with asylum seekers at the border, stop this metering, stop the MPP or Remain in Mexico program. I would, with asylum seekers, allow the reason that somebody is fleeing from domestic or gang violence, again, to be considered in somebody's asylum application, because too often times, especially transgender individuals, are fleeing from that kind of threat of violence or actual violence. I would stop, as I said, separating asylum seekers because somebody is HIV positive or suspected of being that. So from day one, there are executive actions that we can take to treat people more humanely and also to allow them to make their asylum case in the first place. We also need an immigration court system that is independent of the Department of Justice, that has the judges and support staff to actually hear people's cases. I don't want people having to wait 3 or 4 years to get an answer on their asylum claim. I don't want to separate families. I don't want kids in cages. I want people to have justice and to be able to get a yes or a no. And then finally, you mentioned Honduras. I actually believe what we need to do is that we need a 21st century Marshall Plan for Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala so that people can find safety and opportunity at home instead of having to make that dangerous journey to the United States.
Well, Mr. Castro, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure chatting.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you.
Great.